In this video, I'm going to go through exactly the strategy, the system, the processes we use to do about 80 to 100K a month right now on average. Again, I could probably say, 100K a month agency owner, whatever, but realistically, this month we're probably going to hit about 90. Last month was about 100. So it's ebbs and flows, right? So I'm being as transparent as humanly possible. I'm going to show you, let me just pull up everything here. So if you're an agency owner, you sell high ticket stuff, maybe you're a coach, it doesn't really matter. If you sell for a call funnel, a book call funnel, whatever you want to call it, a webinar, it doesn't really matter, guys. So you can see here, last 4 weeks just in Whopper alone, we've done 73. In Wise and PayPal, whatever, it's probably closer to 100. But let's just go for Whop right now. So yeah, we're tracking strong in Whop. If we go to ads, let's go to the ads dashboard real quick. So in the ads, we spent £12,294, which is about $16,000. We've booked probably close to 300 calls. I could probably even just show you. Go into here, pull up Go High Level, show you guys what our Go High Level looks like, show you how we actually take the calls, how we frame the calls, all of that stuff as well. Again, I'm showing you because why not? Okay, I know some of you are going to be like, how does this work? How do you do it? So yeah, the last 30 days, 292. If I go into my calendars, okay, I'll show you this week. One of my closers was off at the beginning of the week, which is back today, taking a decent amount of triage calls. Got my other closer here as well. The orange are demo calls, which are second calls, and then the yellows are first calls. So yeah, you can see opportunities are thriving, and very simply what we obviously do is focus on a couple of things. So I'm going to show you or talk about what those things are. So the only way I look at an ad for selling high ticket stuff, whether an agency, coach, consultant, is to get attention. Okay, it's a game of attention. You have to have a good offer. Okay, if you don't have a personal brand, you don't have 100,000 followers on Instagram or YouTube, you need to have a really good offer. Okay, yes, guarantees get you more leads, but also the quality of the leads are affected if you use guarantees. I don't really mind. You can kind of use both. Without a guarantee, you'll get a high quality call. With a guarantee, you'll get more calls. So what the biggest mistake people make is that they just try and sell everyone the same service, whereas we probably have 3 to 4 different services that we sell, and we promote our best service. So on the front of our ads, it's like we're promoting what our ideal client wants and what we can actually provide on the premium level. Okay, so think of it like American Express. Right, they'll run an ad that will say get 50,000 points when you sign up today, but that's specifically for the platinum card. 95% of people that apply for a credit card for American Express are not qualified for that offer. So what happens? They downsell them. It's not a bait and switch because they're not qualified for the service, right, for the card. So what they're going to do, they're just going to forget about that lead, or they're going to sell them a different card. Obviously, good business practice is to help people solve their problem and meet them where they're at. So very, very similar principle is we have an offer for our ideal clients, people that already doing probably 50K plus a month. They have at least 10 to 20K a month in ads ready to launch, if not already being spent. And then we can come in and do what we're really good at and maximize those ads. We can create obviously better funnels, better sales processes, better sales reps, and really just scale that offer. So that's our main offer. Now, most people that come to us aren't at 50K a month. They're probably between 10 to 40, 10 to 30K. So instead of just being like, we can't help you guys, we say, look, we have the system, we can build your offer. I'll personally sit down and do it with you on a call, and I'll actually do the work beforehand. So it's actually a done for you offer build. Secondly, what we'll do is we'll come in and we'll build out the whole funnel and the ad system in your business. So we don't retain access to like a SaaS model or anything like that. It's completely your own IP to own and keep forever. Even if you stop working with us, it's your system. Okay. Then what we do is we obviously build out the sales process, the scripts, the back-end automations to make sure that when they do get appointments, that the show rate is strong and they actually know how to close those deals. So we set that all up in the first 2 weeks. Sometimes it takes as little as a week, depending on how and where they are. And then once that's done, we launch the ads depending on the budget, on what they're comfortable with. Some people start at $50 a day, others start at $300 a day, others start at way more than that. But it doesn't really matter. What matters is that the offer is built, the system is working, and it's based on good frameworks that are actually functioning today. So there's a lot of stuff going around online where people are saying you can't get clients from cold ads, you have to have a personal brand first. That is the biggest load of shit I've ever heard in my life. I literally have an agency owner right now who has just closed 2 back-to-back deals in 7 days. He's collected $7,000 with 2K retainers on the back end for both deals. And he has no brand, he has no social proof, he has no testimonials. And he's just started running ads with us. And he spent $700 in the last week and made a 10x return. You don't need a personal brand, you just need to know how to sell. Okay, and all selling is confidence and helping somebody solve a problem, and you're not meant to sell everyone. Okay, so your close rate isn't going to be 50% from ads, it's going to be a lot lower than that. But if you can get $50 appointments and you can close 1 in 10, 1 in 20, that's between $500 to $1,000 cost per acquisition. And if you're selling a lifetime value service between $5,000 to $10,000, which most people are, then that again is a 5 to 20x, depending on where you land, return on ad spend. So you see that I'm, on track to hit about 90K this month in revenue, in cash collected, and I've spent about $16,000. You can work out the ROI on that. 30%, if not a little bit more of that is recurring. So not all of it, and probably a bit more, probably 40%. So it's not like the more you spend, the less you make. That's what I say. So in the beginning, you spend less money on ads, you make more upfront profit, and then you reinvest that. But the rule of thumb is not to obsess on return on ad spend. Okay, I have another client who's spending $100 a day, and he's not wanting to increase that spend because he's so obsessed on the cash collected ROI on the first day. Where you have other agency owners that will happily lose money in the first exchange because they have such a good LTV. The first 2 months can literally be break even, if not losing money. But by months 3, 4, 5, 6, they're absolutely laughing. So you have to really look at it from business principles and actually understanding the game of data and like how to actually invest into the business and have an emotionally strong tolerance around investing in the business. And that's probably the number one thing that stops people from spending more, is just not knowing their numbers. So if you're an agency owner, you're selling high ticket stuff, your offer is 80% of the work, because that's going to dictate the number of leads that you get and the number of conversations you have. Okay, when somebody comes to that Zoom call, it's not about buying my service and my package. It's, can I help you? What is going on? What's worked in the past? What have you tried? What do you like? What don't you like? What are your beliefs right now about running ads or doing this thing the way that we're saying to do it? And then from there, you can figure out if you can actually help them. Are they a good person? If they're not a good person, they're not putting their camera on, they're rude and disrespectful. It doesn't matter if they've got $1 million liquid to invest. Like, that person should never ever be a client, right? So it's much more about the psychoanalysis of the individual rather than, do you have money to buy my thing? Okay, so you're not trying to sell anyone. You're trying to see, like, can I even help this person based on where they are today, where they want to go, and where my solution and service fits into that gap. Once you are confident, so if you book 10 appointments, six people show up to that call, we're looking for about a 40 to 50% qualification rate on that first conversation. So if you book 10 calls, you're looking at a 3 to 4 qualification rate on those 10. So 30 to 40%, they go into another call to go into like a deeper strategy, a demo call, whatever you want to call it, and then hopefully one of those people buy, right? If you're really good at sales, you're probably going to get about a 30 to 50% conversion on those qualified demos that show up. So once you understand the cost of getting a qualified person to show up, you can then re-engineer how much you should be spending on ads. You can also incorporate your LTV to understand, again, how much you should be spending on the ads and how fast you want to grow. Like, systematically right now, I could double my ad spend, but you saw my calendar. I don't have the space to double my ad spend right now. But so what the things that I could do is I could get better at qualifying people on the front, on the form, and I could be more strict on who's actually getting through the funnel. That will increase my cost per lead and cost per call, but it will also increase the quality of the conversations we have. Another thing I could do is be much more strict on who we're qualifying on the triage calls, so the first conversation. And then the other thing as well is we can limit the amount of people that we speak to on the demo call. So we can say, like, hey, we could have a wait list, for example. We could charge a higher premium. We could sell a different service. We could do so many different things. I could hire more sales reps. So many different things I could do. And it's just about understanding what's the right way to do it, because I also don't want to devalue my service at the same time. Like, we are rated excellent on Trustpilot, 4.7 at the moment out of 5 stars, 60 reviews. That's my proof, right? I don't have a massive personal brand, but I have, a legitimate profile on Trustpilot that people obviously rely on when making a decision. I have clients that are going to speak positively about their experience working with us, so I can refer people to them, and they're going to speak good on my name and the business's name. That integral part, the integrity of that is unmatched. So it's really important that if you're watching this video, it's never as easy as it seems. It's never as simple as it seems. However, you don't need to be doing 101 different things. 90% of our clients come from paid ads. The other 10% come from word of mouth and referrals. I don't do cold email. I don't do cold calling. I'm posting this YouTube stuff because in 5 years' time, I don't want to be here and thinking, if only I posted those videos, if only I built up a personal brand to a point of authority. I'm not trying to be, an influencer. I'm trying to show and document what I'm doing, what I'm going through. Because again, 2 years ago when I was struggling to hit 50K a month, not even 50K, 30K a month, whatever I was doing, I wish that I documented that as well. So, it's all a lesson. If you have questions, let me know in the comments. If you want to work with my agency, again, we do have a pay-per-performance basis. We don't have long-term contracts. We literally do everything for our clients. We aren't selling info. We even give a whole AI sales manager tool for free to our clients, where we analyze every single call they have. We give them AI role play with being able to get better at sales. We do give away our whole school group for free with all of our content, all of our SOPs, but we don't even promote that shit, right? We're coming in, we're building the offer, we're building the system and the ads. We're doing it in 2 weeks or less. We're hiring spokespeople on behalf of our clients. We're helping them with every angle and every problem that they're facing. And then we're launching the ads. We're helping them collect cash as soon as possible so they can reinvest in the ad spend and scale their agency or coaching business. So if you need help with that, I don't care if you book a call and you never buy from me. But if you're like, this guy actually could help, click the link, see if we can help. Again, we don't need you, with all due respect. We have, as you can see, 300 appointments coming in already. So only book if you're serious about that. But if you want to speak to me directly, the right thing to do right now is either DM me on Instagram or leave a comment down below. I know I literally get 50 views for these videos, so I don't expect anyone to reach out right now. I need to do a lot more of these videos, do a lot more work in this content world. But this is just one video of many. So any questions about how we do it, why we do it, how it works, just let me know. And I'll see you guys on the next one.